Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Hammers Football TV. Hope everyone's, as always, keeping well and obviously, more than anything else, keeping hydrated in this balmy weather at the moment. Loving it, don't get me wrong, but at the same point, it is a bit of a scorcher and it's only get hot as well. So make sure, as always, people look after yourself and make sure you hydrate. Yes, did a little thing earlier on, just kind of going on the first 3 months, but I thought tonight not going to be a long one. It's just going to go through the fixtures and looking at last season with the game or the teams that was in the Premier League and how we fared against them, and of course the other three teams that are now promoted and where we stood with them with the last game basically. So as always, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, share and subscribe. On the road to 1,000, about 20 away from that mark now, and I couldn't do it with obviously the great people in the chat that help support and give the comments and the laughter and the banter as we go along. So let's start off as usual in the comments, and the first one is good evening to usual suspects. Ton, everyone appreciates the efforts you put into your streams. Good man. Usual, appreciate that as well, and of course I appreciate the the following and the support and the talking. Like I always say, can't do it without you people, and the interaction we have is brilliant. And of course, I'm waiting for that first tune to be put into the chat. Matt, big up to yourself as well, mate. I hope everything's good for yourself, and also saying hello to usual. Yes, just seen that come through. I mean, it's something that was another one of those best kept secrets. Chris Wilder couldn't get it across the line, and the club have done no more and parted ways with Chris Wilder for another time. But I was listening on Talksport this morning on the way into work, and it made you laugh that it said you can see it now, 2028. Chris Wilder signs as manager for Sheffield United again, just to get it over the line. But yeah, he couldn't do it. They took him back on. He gave it a good go, but as always, just not enough. So was it hasty for them to do that? Do they support him for next season? That's not the case. He's gone. And as West Ham fans, do we feel that sorry about it? We can tell you 42 million reasons why we're not. Harry, good evening to yourself. Good evening, all you beautiful people. Come on, you irons. And as always, saying hello to each other. Matt saying, trust us to get one of the promoted sides first game of the season away from home, typical. Well, the interesting thing about that, Matt, someone kind of put it on YouTube that I can't remember who the name was now, but it was the fixture list was leaked yesterday, so we found out that we are going to be away to Sunderland, and yeah, it's been confirmed as that as well. Matt's saying the stadium of Shite's going to be bouncing. Mate, they're going to enjoy coming back in there, and you can understand it. I mean, the stadium itself should be doing a lot better. The club itself should be doing a lot better, but we know that, as always, they've got the shadow of Newcastle looking down them from a fair distance. Stephen, good evening to yourself as well, mate. Good evening all. And as always saying like them, big up to Michael Chelsea FC. Big up to on our mate. Nice, relaxing. Just going to do a quick stream on this. Water, hydrated, fed, happy days. Hope you're all, Michael, as well. Good to see you. Frog saying, oi, oi, hammers. And saying like Miku as well. Matt Foster, Dimitri Payet, what an enigma. Yes. Just a shame the way it ended with him, really. And they're saying that Lone Star, good afternoon to yourself as well. I hope you're well. And we're suffering with a nice balmy temperature today. I think it was around about the 30s and that. How is it out there in the States? Let us know, mate. Hope you're all keeping well as always. And let us know about you think. Your opening fixture is obviously the old rivalry, Man United and yourselves. So that's going to be an interesting game as the opening. And they're saying hello to each other as always. And big up to Anthony Herbert, big up to on like our fixtures in the first 6 games. I'm saying 9 points to Arsenal. We'll lose to Liverpool, Man City, and Newcastle, I reckon. I mean, Anthony, you've got not exactly Arsenal's not got an easy run in, have they, as well? So that in itself is going to be quite interesting to see. But you're saying 9 points from the first 6 games. That's fair enough. I mean, let's see if they can do it. As you know, the top 6 people buying players at the moment. Is Arsenal going to get one over the line? Big up to Lone Star as well. Oh, yeah, Matt. Matt, not going to be a long one. 2 hours later. Matt, yeah, you're probably not wrong there, mate. That's for sure. Harry's saying, good afternoon, Anthony. I thought I saw a couple of Jack Russells fucking in the back of a Hillman imp in the car park. Paw prints in the windows as well as they're scraping down with their claws. Even at the tractor, Mark was saying to him as well. The poor Hillman imp, Matt's saying. And as always, saying hello to each other. Lone Star saying Sunderland is the easiest fixture to start with. Looking after us for a change, you know. But we'll talk about that in a minute, where we stand with this and the fixture list itself. Big up to Michael Chelsea as well. Good evening, words and pictures. Hope you're good evening, Tony. Good evening to see you as well. Good to see you here as well, my friend. Yeah, I saw this as well today, Stephen. Thomas Frank obviously must be an admirer, and interesting to see old Levy turn around and saying that the reason why they've got big hands, that they're ambitious. They've won a cup. They want to win the Premier League. Well, I don't know if everyone told Daniel Levy to do that. You've got to spend big and get better players in. But hey, that's his club at the end of the day. But yeah, Stephen, I agree on that. Spurs of all places. I think he's got a bit more ambitious of that at Kudos if he is going to go somewhere. Lone Star saying it's 97 degrees, feels like 105. If you've got no breeze, yeah, I can bet that must be stifling. Michael Chelsea saying, big up to the rest of you in the chat from me before I head live again for the Real Madrid game. Michael, have a good stream as well, mate. Hope it all goes well on that one. Harry saying, I feel Potter will turn it on large. 6 points in the first 2 games. Everybody now, I'm forever blowing bubbles. It's going to be interesting, mate, because, you know, as I put in the title, it's make or break it. And I do believe it's one of those. If we don't buy and invest, as we hope that the club's going to do, then if we have the same kind of thing as the last season, and if not, I think it'll be worse than last season. Especially, it's going to be Potter's proper full charge in charge of the team. What influence him and Macaulay have got on any signings, we know most likely it's probably going to be Sullivan. But if he doesn't get it right, then Jesus, it's worrying. It is worrying in that respect, because I think if we don't start off well, then we could see a downhill spiral. And can we get ourselves out of it? That's going to be the crucial one for me. Matt saying, as long as we get the money, I don't care where he goes, Stephen. We've got to get good money, because, again, Levy's going down the Arsenal route and he's talking about 50 million. So let's hope we don't go down that route, that's for sure. Frog saying, start with a trip to picturesque Sunderland. Yes, that North Sea breeze, nice and balmy. Yeah, absolutely lovely, he's saying. I agree with that cough. Yes, indeed. Harry, yeah. Stephen says, not there, Matt, anywhere else. Yes, agree on that one myself. It's me, Everest. Big up to everyone here from Views. Big up to you, Everest. Thanks for coming in that, and thanks for the sub for early on. Appreciate that as well. Hope you all keeping well, mate. Matt saying beggars can't be choosers, sadly. There is a limit on that, Matt. I must admit, I'm with Stephen on this one. There is a limit. Yeah, I mean, you know, we've sold players like that before to Spurs. So yeah, not good. Harry's saying the Northern Wasteland. Well, it's more shinier where this lovely lady comes from, and it is obviously Mama Flossie. Evening to you as well, Mama. Hope you're keeping well on that. Hope you're happy with your fixture lists coming out today for Newcastle. Please let us know on that one as well. And she's also saying hello to the chat. Anthony's saying, Man United's first game of the season for us. Fuzzy shitting in his pants already. And of course, saying hello to each other. Fit the best, absolutely. And everyone is always saying hello. And big up to it's me, Everest, absolutely. Good to see him in here. Yep, absolutely. Emerging Picture saying, after seeing Paddy McGuinness's performance in Soccer Aid 2025, I'm expecting Sully to buy him. You probably couldn't put it past him, must admit. Saying like as usual as well. Hi, to Mama. Stephen saying he's going to watch the under-21s game versus Jenny. Yeah, that was. I mean, seeing that from being 5, and well, I ain't going to give too much away, Stephen, anyway. But it was a really interesting game. Hi, Anthony. Frog says Harry I makes Hartlepool look like Kensington. Absolutely, mate. For me, the first question I'll be asking to Levy is, what chance have I got? You didn't back Ange, you didn't back Nuno, you didn't back Conte, you didn't back Mourinho. What chance have I got? What guarantees can you give me? Don't get me wrong, it's good to, that Thomas Frank is looking to be ambitious and further his career. As you know, I'd love him here at West Ham. It would have been ideal for us. But, yeah, Levy's got him. But I don't think unless they, let's see what he can do with them. It's not Brentford. It's not the same model. Like I said, for me, Brentford and Thomas Frank had a very, very good relationship. We've seen how strained it gets with Levy. We've seen that with the all or nothing with Mourinho on that one. And everyone is again saying hello to each other. Mama saying, hit the like, people. Yes, if you haven't done that already, please make sure you do that. As you know, it helps with the algorithms. Love the algorithms. Matt saying he's also already smacked it already. Well done. Stephen's done exactly the same. It's me, Everest, saying, what should I say? Up the hammers or up the irons? I always get confused. Up the hammers. That's the best one. That's the best one for us. Gently caress the button, says Harry. Thank you, Mama. Matt said, I'll take 50 million plus Trossard. I mean, that's an interesting one, isn't it, with Trossard, because they're supposed to be doing talks. See, do you want to sign anything? If they're going to go with it, who knows? We'll see in that respects, but not a bad shout. But where would we play him, though, Matt? That's the question. We're looking at Somerville hopefully coming back at some point, so he'll look like a new player, hopefully. Yeah, we saw Antonio play for Jamaica. He came on as a sub, so it was good to see him get games. And we know at the moment we don't know this position. He's classed as a free agent while they're still trying to negotiate a deal, but I don't think it's anywhere near the end. They were saying like them. Lone Star saying Sunderland will swiftly be relegated by Christmas, just nowhere near equipped for the EPL. This is the thing. I mean, I think they've got new owners now, Lone Star, so I don't know if they're better equipped for this. The manager is obviously, for me, never heard of him before. Got it over the line for him to get up into the Premier. But it's again, yeah, we've seen it with Sunderland many a time. They've come up and can't hold on to it, and they're going down. James is saying, evening, Tony, going to be an interesting season, make or break, and that's the reason why I put it in the table. It is one of those, I do believe it will be a make or break, that's for sure. If we don't get this right, especially in this summer window, we don't get any players in, and I think the interesting point, we saw that with Lopetegui in the summertime when he did his pre-season friendlies. We got all these players in, we thought, let's see what this man can do, and then the alarm bell started ringing after the first 1 or 2 games, and then he went on from there. So the jury's out on Potter, and obviously the jury's out on how our season goes, and more importantly, this bloody ball, what they're going to do. We know the petition, what's been said about it. I don't know if it's got any meat behind it to kind of warrant anything going on, but we can only wait and see. That's all we can do as fans. Saying hello to each other there. One of the nicest, best mods on YouTube, Matt. You don't forget that part. You've missed that word out. She is the one and only. There is no competition whatsoever. And she's appreciate. My bad, Stephen. Yes, under 19s, under 21 live. Okay, I might look at that one as well. That'd be interesting to see. Matt saying you've got to smack the like button, Harry. Lone Star saying no guarantees in football for you ain't winning bread butter league games. This is true, mate. The ones you expect to win, they're usually the ones you tend to struggle with. And I'm going to go through the teams last season and how we fared with them. James is saying evening to Mama as well, and always happy to spread the love. Matt saying And she's loving that as well. Matt says, Thomas Frank shouldn't have gone to Spurs, should have waited for West Ham in 2 years when Potter leaves. Yes, like I said, you know me, Matt, I was a big advocate for Thomas Frank, but unfortunately it's not to be. We've missed out on Will Steele, which obviously I know people have mentioned before. So, yeah, it's who do we get next? Chris Wilde is available, apparently. Please, God, no. Usually says, Stephen, it's on Channel 4. I fancy the Germans. I hope it doesn't make me a bad man. Oh, yeah, I didn't. I take 30 million plus Rice. Nice. Yeah, have him back. Transform our team again. I was saying you keep them all usual. Now, Frog says, up on the subscribe and get this dodgy geese at the 1K, or there'll be words. You've heard. Now, usual mate, England for him. Lee, big up to yourself, the Arsenal Alliance, and again, as always, make sure if you haven't seen this guy, the Cockney Gooner, basically, good fella, talks a lot of sense as well. If you haven't already, go and see him. But Anthony calls him the flip-flop of the Arsenal world, but we all know him as a good old Cockney Lee. Oh, yeah, like, Harry, bloody hell, you keeping them slippers warm, usual. It's me, Everest is saying, everyone please pray that Everton gets relegated. As a Liverpool fan, I'll be jubilant beyond measures. Laugh me arse off. It'll be Moyes came in and he's done a job there, and he's done what he says on the tin, got them up to a respectable position, more than what Sean Dyche can do in that. But not being funny, it's me, Everest, is that they're very similar to, Sunderland and Newcastle. They're definitely in the shadows. Obviously, the one thing they've got, brand new stadium. That's the main thing that's going to be for them this season. Matt said, I'll play Trossard as a number 10, Tony, just beyond the BFG. That's how we still keep hold of him, Matt. That's going to be interesting what's going on there, because apparently we're looking to sell the kitchen sink. There you go. As I said, Lee, didn't take long. Anthony, hang on, it's flip-flop. You remember, God loves a try. I'm told I'm trying. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant to hear. Herbert. Matt says, I'll give Potter till Christmas. Yep, so looking at the fixture list, we've got some interesting games. I covered the first 3 months, but I'm going to run through last season's results and let's see where we're fair considering this season. Harry says, your name is on them, I promise. Oh, man. Lone Star says, really excited for the Arsenal early fixtures. We don't struggle against the so-called bigger teams. Typically, it's Bournemouth, Fulham or West Ham. Yeah, we're looking forward to the away game when we go to there. Lone Star, normally guaranteed a 3-point out of that one. Matt saying, can we call the match versus Arsenal the Declan Rice derby, Tony? Oh, you imagine that. Yeah, he loves it when we come to their place, that's for sure. Matt said 50 million, Trossard and Rice. Oof, even better. Yes, seen this as well, Lone Star. I think they're talking about 4 years. You put it in there. Yeah, Mudryk has been charged by the Football Association with violating its anti-doping rules after failing a drugs test, can now face up to a 4-year ban. So interestingly, when you look at that, Lone Star, they can make a decision with him as quick as that. But poor old Lucas Paqueta, it's still having the arse dragged out of it, and we're still finding out what's going on, because we are still none the wiser what's going on with this man. Hopefully it's going to be concluded soon, because we need to know as fans, and plus the fact that the player himself needs to know if he's going to move on, for instance. But yeah, big up to Loudmouth Football. Hey, big up, man. Big up to yourself. Hope you're doing good. Thanks for coming in. Love your comments in the community pages. Good to see you as well. It's me, every saying Lone Star, such a cheat, just like Chelsea. 89 million spent on that Mappy. Yes, yeah. I mean that just says it all, doesn't it? Huge loan. What sort of drugs was it? Come on, was it ketamine or something like that? I don't know. It's me, another Premier League flop like Anthony. And Hoyland, don't forget that one as well. Matt saying Moyes will get the new Everton stadium bouncing if he gets the right players. Well, the Friedling group, I think the good thing looking at the Friedling group, they're not afraid to do things. We've seen that when they got Moyes, and of course the best thing they did was keeping Goodison Park and letting the ladies have that. I think that was the best move they've ever done. Good evening to Paul Grant as well. Evening all. Hope you're keeping well, Paul. Harry's saying, there you go, MDMA, Ket, Angel Dust, and crack cocaine. He weren't mucking around him, was he? That's for sure. Anthony's saying, Rice ain't going anywhere. Sorry, but you can have Everts and Zinchenko. Zinchenko has been mentioned, Anthony, funny enough. Jesus, Trossard and Nelson. Jesus. And everyone's saying like to Paul as well. Exactly, Matt. Yeah, it'll be her before Paqueta. No way. Paqueta's getting there before him. Apparently, an unnamed prohibited substance. The Arsenal Alliance saying the window won't get going properly until the 1st of July when the financial year starts. That's for Arsenal, Lee. Everyone else is starting before you. Arsenal's got to wait until the 1st of July. Then you can start buying players. Apparently, that's the deal that you've got. No idea why, but that is the case. So I'm just going to go through the teams in alphabetical order, last season's results, how we kind of fared. So let's start off with the good old Arsenal. So we played them on the 30th of November at home, and it started off well. We lost that one to them 5-2. But what was better was come the 22nd of February, we went to their ground and got a nice 3 points out of them. So again, that kind of upset the apple cart. We was one of the teams that upset the apple cart for Arteta and his men. We look at Aston Villa, the opening game of the season. That was the one that kind of kicked us in the nuts, this one, because this is where the so-called John Duran deal was kind of getting itself over the line. He's then kind of doing hammer signs. It all looked like it was rosy, and then before you know it, we went in on the cheap, and that was the end of it. And of course, sod's law. We drew. We started. It looks like it was going to be a draw. On comes Duran, and then he puts it past us and nicks it 2-1. Couldn't make that shit up, basically. But then when we played them in January, the 26th of January at their gaff, it was 1-1. So this is when Villa started to kind of go off the boil a little bit. So it's an easy result from there. Then looking at Bournemouth's area, we played them on the 16th of December away. That was a 1-1 result, and then the 5th of April again at home, it was another draw. So, are we going to get the same thing with Brighton? With Bournemouth again? Because Iriola, he's a good manager. I mean, we can't get Thomas Frank, then maybe he's the man we look at next if Potter is to go. Because again, he's introduced a style to Bournemouth. They look a decent team, so that would be a good shout if we don't do that one. And then looking at our bogey team, one of the bogey teams is in Brentford. So on the 28th of September away, we drew 1-1 with them. But on the 15th of Feb, they beat us 1-0 at home. So that was that. And then looking at Brighton, we played them on the 21st of December at home. We drew 1-1 with them. But then come near the end of April, the 26th, it looked like it was going to be a 2-2 draw, and they nicked it 3-2. Bitterly disappointed with that one, really was. And just to end up on the Bs, newly promoted team Burnley, the last time we played them was the 10th of March 2024, and it was an interestingly 2-2 result. And that's when I think Burnley was on their knees at this stage, and they still managed to get a point out of us. Matt's saying I'll take Zinchenko, Anthony. Ricky, good evening to yourself, mate. Hope you're good. What game do you feel we'll pick up our first 3 points of the season? Well, I'm hoping I do hope that the first one is going to be the Sunderland game. I hope we're going to get something out of that. But we are West Ham after all, mate. Let me just call up the other thing because I didn't have my other computer charged up in time. Let's have a look. Where are we now? Where are we? West Ham. There we go. So let me just answer your question there, Ricky. I mean, when you look at August and that, we've got obviously Sunderland as the opening game, so I'm expecting something out of that one. Chelsea, well, looking at how they played the other day, and that was virtually a full strength side, I think we've got a good chance of getting something out of that. Maybe a draw in that game. The Forest game, that's going to be a bloody hard game. Spurs, that's going to have the Thomas Frank written all over it. And of course, we've got Palace. We don't do well against them, really, do we? And then we've got Everton. So, yeah, I mean, I'm hoping in August, possibly 4 points out of that. Because looking at September, we've got some bogey teams in there, and then October is even worse. Maybe the Leeds game, we might get something out of that. But on the 18th, Brentford at home, we were home to Brentford. Of course, no more Thomas Frank, so they may not have the same appeal. Let us know your thoughts on that as well, Rick. It'd be interesting to hear your take on that. Steve saying, Anthony, what do you think of Sesko deal? Is he or isn't he? You just saying, Harry, he wasn't messing about, was he? Kudos to the Ukrainian smeckhead. Harry saying 15 different types of semen pumped from his stomach. Bloody hell, man. Matt's saying, who's worse, Mudryk or Anthony? Mudryk, I'd say. Anthony can do something, and he's proven that. Mudryk, I don't know. That's a weird one in itself. Yeah, look at that. He was out with Mark Armand. It's me, Everest, saying, Matt. I'd say Mudryk, because Anthony at least did well in the La Liga last season on loan. He did indeed. And boy, George as well, man. Matt's also saying, kudos, 50 million to Arsenal's in Shoko and Trossard's in. You just saying, Matt, the Brazilian is tearing up the Spanish league. The Ukrainian is doing the complete opposite. It's me, Everest, is saying, heading off to watch the Rat Trent play, kidding. I think he's starting already, and he take care, everyone. Good night from my end. Appreciate you coming in, and have a good show. However you do, enjoy what you're going to watch. Definitely usual there. Fit the best. Matt, John Duran, more like Duran. Yeah. The links, Matt, don't forget, we're linked to him. He's on loan. He's available, apparently. Mama's saying, do you Hammers think Potter will last a season? I don't think I wouldn't say there's even a divide in this, Mama. I think there's a strong consensus that it doesn't go right, and especially like this window, that he could go sooner rather than later. Sullivan's mucking him around, and Macaulay, and if you're a decent manager, would you hang around for something like that? Doesn't matter what money you get paid. If you're not being backed by your chairman and they're kind of trying to do the most to make you look like you're incompetent, then there's one thing, you move on to something else, basically. But yeah, as Matt says, depends on the signings. Paul Grant saying, next manager around Christmas, Sean Dyche. Yeah, you can just imagine him and his first team coach, Danny Dyer, two gruff voices. That'd be brilliant hearing them two. Stephen Noma. Lone Star saying, if West Ham don't beat Sunderland, Potter is under severe scrutiny and real pressure from the get-go. You're not wrong there, mate. I totally agree on that comment. It's definitely going to be one of those. The pressure will be too heavy on him at this stage. Frog saying, Mama, I expect more chaos at the end of the year. Especially, we're hoping for the takeover, aren't we? Mama saying, won't be easy away from home, Lone Star. Yeah. The opening game, they're going to be buzzing, absolutely buzzing. We will, Mama. I think it's going to be a very tough one. From the ownership downwards, it's going to be, yeah. Words and pictures. We lose to Sunderland, fans will go Garrity. They will do. Sunderland fans will go Gary. You're going to see a lot of meltdowns going on. A lot of kind of, what can we do with this club now? And it will be worrying. It will be worrying. So do I, Mama. Yes, we have to beat the Mackhams. We'll try our best, Mama. It all depends on Potter and the players more than anything else. Can they be right in what they're doing? We'll try absolutely. Usual saying I'm genuinely fear for us next season, and it is a worrying thing. It is make or break. If he's not going to get backed by Sullivan, if we're not going to get the right players in, because this is going to be interesting. Okay, then couple of players we've apparently got. We need some real proper signings. We need something to kind of come in that's going to make an impact at least. If we don't get that, then yeah, it's not going to be good. George, good evening to yourself, mate. Hope you're good. Evening, all creatures, great and small. And Mama, we couldn't even name a fucking squad at this point. Yeah. Looking to sell the silverware in the kitchen sink at this rate. Everyone's saying like the Trosh. Man says the fans will be playing at this rate. Probably do a better job though as well, man. That's the worst part about it. Frog Tree Evening fella. Lone Star says Man United fans have accused the club of giving fans a kick in the teeth after announcing match day ticket prices could reach £97. Yes, we know their skin, but £97. Mind you, got to think Lone Star. They've got to pay for a £2 billion circus tent, so maybe that's part of the reason behind that increase. But that's madness. Mind you, don't forget, most of all the Man United fans come from London anyway, so probably could afford it. Josh said, we need to convince Tevez to come back at 41. Yeah, still do a job for us, mate. Yeah, as you said before, he definitely would do. Mama saying, Potter doesn't give you a feeling of confidence. No, not at the moment. Not at the moment. We saw that with the tactics last year, Mama. Games we should have won, making stupid changes, bringing players on and putting them in different positions. It didn't make sense to, and everyone's questioning why. And then we go and lose games. And then, of course, we just managed to get where we are, basically. Matt says, Brighton twice in December, Tony. Yes, indeed, Matt. I mean, no mucking around on that one, that's for sure. George did 4 goals in like 15 minutes the other day. Yeah, man. I mean, that was a brilliant comeback. Even George, yeah, not really there. Double confidence. Just make, confidence. We picked up on that. Didn't want to say it. Yeah, he's confident. How he's saying. Matt's saying, send Mudryk back to the Ukraine to fight the Russians. George saying, well, I think it's 50-50. Sorry, that's what I put on the title, George, make or break. It is definitely one of those. If we get it right, then we stand a good chance. If we don't get it right, then it could tip the scales. And basically, it could be irreversible. And that's going to be the worst part, for me, is that if we don't get this window right, and he don't get his tactics right, that's the other key thing as well. If you don't get them tactics right, we need to see change. And hopefully we'll see it in the pre-season friendlies. We never know. Aces, good evening to yourself as well. Hope you're well, mate. Let us know what you think about your fixtures, Aces. And he's some luck. We definitely need that. Aces saying Lee Gunner's Sullivan's first sacking. Yeah, you can see the odds coming out. Who's going to be the first manager to go? Josh says, I don't think Leeds and Sunderland will be stuck in the bottom 3 like the priorities were last season. No, I mean, Leeds, they've got new owners, haven't they? I think is it an investment company or something? So I think when you look at it here, I think they'll do all right. Sunderland, like I said, new ownership there as well. Seem to kind of getting things right there, but they're still a long way off the target. So I think out of them, they may struggle. And as for Burnley, Scotty Parker, I mean, he performed miracles with that team when he came in. Actually performed miracles. But if he's not backed, then it could be him that's going to suffer. And he's saying, Tom, that picture of you and your thumbnail, was that taking the cry? Oh, man. Lowe's are saying Sunderland finished 24 points behind Leeds and Burnley. They'll be gone before Christmas. Stranger things have happened. We'll see. Good evening to Mike, West Ham United. Hope you're keeping well. Main transfers will be last week. It's all looking the same old. Yeah, and you know what's going to come out there as well, Mike. You're going to get that same old comment. We was working hard in the backgrounds, but we just couldn't get it across the line. You can see the writing on the wall straight away, can't you? Trust me, I like Sunderland though. I mean, look, they have got a good fan base. They're loyal. They're passionate. Um, you know, they like I said, they are in the shadows of Newcastle because you can't fault the Newcastle fans. Absolutely immense what you see with them. But Sunderland, yeah, they are definitely living in the shadows. But Sleeping Giant, if looked after the right way. Mama said United even increased the pensioners' prices. See, this is the thing, Mama. We had this obviously with West Ham. It all kind of got put in the back burner because of fan pressure. Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos, that's a different matter altogether. They're on a different planet with this. £97. Wow. Alongside say that all three teams will go straight back down. We'll see. I mean, maybe Leeds they've been there before. They know what they're doing. Might be right. They're saying there. 1-0 to Germany already. Thank you, Stephen. Good evening, Ray. Hope you're well, mate. Evening, Tony and all. Hope you're keeping well, Ray. Osa says, hopefully Forteta will be sacked by the international break. Yeah. I mean, if Potter's got pressure on him, Aces, Arteta must be looking over his shoulder now. Now you've got Berta in. If they kind of get things right there, who knows? Who knows what happens in there? Yes, that'll be interesting. What happens at Arsenal? Stephen, what did I say? Not 5 minutes played already, and they already won that already. Yeah. Frog saying, how the fuck are we going to replace Kudos, etc., and hit the ground running? You can see it, and you know what happened here, Frog. They're going to get one player, call it a token sign, and then say, like, we've got this. Everything else will be fringe players, loan players, or they look to sell to try and get something indecent. But it's once you replace him, they're looking at him. He's the bargaining chip. They're the ones that they don't want to sell Wan-Bissaka. They don't want to sell Bowen. They're the crown jewels. We can't sell them. They're basically the irreplaceable, not moving whatsoever. But as you know, money talks at the end of the day. Kudos is the bargaining chip. Try and get as much money as possible, and then hopefully we can start negotiating on things. But I agree on what you're saying. He says Anthony's waiting for Bristol Rovers' new fixtures released next Thursday afternoon. Usual. Stephen watched the early England game and we didn't look at the races, to be honest. Yeah, sound like the Ray. The usual says, I really hope we beat him. I just don't see it, unfortunately. I hope I'm wrong. The youngsters are doing very well. Anthony says, Aces, what do you think of your fixtures for Tottenham as well? Stephen's saying, yeah, usual. Watched the other night. It wasn't good, but I thought Germany would be up for it. Yeah. Where was we on the fixtures? So the next we're looking at is Chelsea. So when we played them last year at home on the 21st of September, we lost 3-0 to them. And when we went away, 3rd of Feb, we also lost 2-1. So this is when Chelsea was a bit of an indifferent team as well. Maresca was a strange character. But he'll probably get it right. But can we get sync over Chelsea? Chelsea are kind of a bit of a mixture for me. So there's a chance we could get something out of that. Palace. Yeah, Palace. Yeah, what a team. Glaston's done a great job with him. Obviously won a cup. So 24th of August, we managed to get a result there for a change. We actually won 2-0. A rarity to go to, Selhurst Park and actually get a result. But they made sure it stayed the same way when they came back to us on the 8th of January, because that's when we we lost 2-0 to them at that point. Everton, well, 9-11, we was at home. We drew 0-0 with them. And then we found out that obviously Moyes was going to these. And then we actually drew 1-1 away at their ground. So it was an emotional one for them. They was hoping for the win, but it didn't happen. And then Fulham, again, another strange one. 14th of September, we went away. We managed to get a point out of Fulham. That was a weird game. I remember that one. And then the 14th at home, we managed to get 3-2. 3-2 out of that. So Marco de Silva, that's another one. Would he be good for us? Where's Lurbert? Good evening to yourself. Yeovil Town away, and 19th of July. There you go. He's letting you know. Anthony, let's hope Yeovil win that. Josh, there's no West End players in the England on 21 squad. So I'm watching Real Madrid. What's that all about? They've got some vendetta against us all of a sudden. Usual, right? Get you. Say like each other there. Usual wears the crown, Mama says. He's the top commenter today so far. Let's look at the rest of the fixtures I've written down so far for the next. So, Liverpool. As you know, spending big already. They're definitely making sure that they start off like they finished. So when we played them at home, we lost that 5-0, and then 13th of April, probably Potter's best game we saw with the West Ham. We gave Liverpool a game. It looked like we're going to get a point out of this, and of course, he made some changes, and then before you know it, we lose that 2-1. And this is where Potter's got to stop that kind of antics. We can't keep them getting like that. We can't keep them going down that same road. City, indifferent City last season. We've already seen that Pep's already started to buy some players. So when you think of like that, we've got a chance of being beaten yet again by them, because City on the 31st of August at home, they beat us 3-1. And when we went to their ground, we lost 4-1. So City kept up the usual with us. They love playing West Ham. They always tend to score big goals against us. And of course, we've got Man United. Good old Man United. Managed to get 6-pointer out of Man United last season with under Amram. So the 27th of October, we was at home. We won that 2-1. And then 11th of May, what was nice to see that we actually kind of beat them 2-0, which was not good for Fuzzy's temperament, should we say. Me and Anthony was surprised before we did one of the Good and Bad of the Ugly show. The F word came out, I don't know how many times. He went to town. He didn't hold back on that one. And then, of course, a great lady in the chat, a great mod in the chat, Newcastle and her team. Eddie Howe, another manager we'd love to see at our place. We went to there. Me and Mama did a watch along for that game. And this is actually when Lopetegui was going through a bad patch. Obviously, his dad was ill. He didn't look good at all. He looked quite dishevelled, actually. But a windswept St James's Park, we managed to nick 2-0 and 3 points out of Newcastle, which was quite surprising from my point of view. The main thing was a great stream by me and Mama, regardless of what the result was. But then, of course, when they come to the London Stadium in March, they nicked it 1-0. Let me just catch up with some of the chat there. You're just saying, Tom, if we could ever get one player in, who would you like? I think for me, would I go for a forward? We know we need a forward. We would go for a forward there. The one player I'd go for, because obviously things are going on at Brentwood. For me, there's an opportunity there to get something out of it, and I would go for John Mateta. Tall, win the aerial challenges, good on and off the ball. He makes those runs. So for me, yeah, Mateta would be the, if there's anyone available at the moment we can get hold of, and followed with that would be Wissa. I'd look at picking the bones out of Brentwood, unfortunately for them. But yeah, Mateta, I think is the one. just seeing what he did when he came, against Arsenal, winning that ball and scoring that goal. And it's not just that game. There was other games he's been quite influential in them games. So he's the one I'd say for me. Stephen saying Grealish, Trosh, any player. Yes, I think it would be any player. So he would pick Vinicius Jr. for the left side. Oh, imagine that. Ain't going to be Nico Williams. Like he's going anywhere at the moment. Well, he looks like Barca or anything else. Big up to Lee Stay from TV. Good afternoon, Lee. Hello, everyone. Hope you're keeping well, mate. Hope Mum and Dad's good. And good to see you as well. That's a nice one. Yamal. Yeah, quality player as well. He's a good player, yeah. Hello there, yeah. You're just saying, Stephen, I like him as well, but the rumour is he's a pisshead. Yeah, Grealish. Well, put it this way. If ever Ferguson was still here, them two can go out on the town. Mama, so did I. It was really good. So if you're up for it for the new season, we'll definitely do another one of them again. It was an absolutely banging show. I really enjoyed that one. Frog says, thing is, any really good player coming to us would look like a cherry in a bowl of custard at this point. This is the problem. And we've got to get a player that's going to be able to do something. And yeah, it's got to be the right fit if we can. But as Stephen's saying, fit right in then with the custard bowl thing. Yeah, we need to get these players need to be right that we're going to get in this window. And he's saying, yeah, it wasn't me that was through him. My slitter said it was a good show though. Michael, good evening to yourself. Thanks for the comment early on. Nketiah, mate, you never know. I mean, I was joking about him before and that, but he's won something, so there you go. Hugo, Harry's saying. Hugo. Pepsi, good evening to yourself. Jesus, you said. Well, just for work rate alone. That's the key thing, isn't it? Just for work rate alone. Not bad at all. Declan Rice, everyone. There'll be a queue along the road networks to pick that man up and bring him back personally. Ray saying, I think the stats show that we had the least Premier League injuries last season. We may not be lucky next season. I'm concerned. Yeah, we're going to be, if we don't get players in, and we are going to sell players, we are going to be thin. We are going to be quite thin and stretched. Not good. And you're one of us, Ray. We are concerned for the club and the way this is going. Because looking at that, I'm just going to finish off the last of the game. So Notts Forest, when we played them back in November, the early part of November, that was a game to forget. They actually tore us a new one, beat us 3-0, and deserved them 3 goals. And then, of course, when we played them on the 18th, we did, me and Yeti did the watch along. And again, we looked good, didn't look bad at all, and then it all started falling apart. Then they equalised, and near the end, yeah, the howler of all things for them to nick it 2-1. The third of the Premier League teams that have been promoted, put into the Premier League, actually, is Sunderland. And the last time we played them was on the 15th of April 2017 at their place, and we drew 2-2. So that was with a fairly decent side we had back then, and we drew 2-2 with them there. And of course, the last couple of teams is Spurs. So they've got old Thomas Frank, so they've got a new manager bounce there. We played them October, 19th of October. This was the capitulation, shall we say, the second half, as when we completely folded like a pack of cards, and this is awfully where Kudos got himself sent off, and that for me was a turning point for him. And then, of course, when we played him again back in May, beginning of May, we drew 1-1 with him. And that was obviously one of the nails in the coffin for Big Ange. And then looking at Wolves, we played them at home, and we beat them 2-1. And when we went away, they kind of returned the favour by beating us 1-0. So, looking at what we've got coming up with the teams, the first couple of months, I can only see us getting 4 points at this point. People in the chat, let us know what your thoughts on for the first 2 months. How many points you think we are, and will we actually get a win? Everyone say hello to Lee as well. Thank you, Mama. I'll pencil that in, definitely, that's for sure. Words and pictures, Tony. It's only going to be a quick stream, 50 minutes later. I like, for me, words and pictures, I don't like missing out the interaction with you guys in the chat, and I do like to kind of go through as many comments as possible. And 50 minutes, an hour, we'll be nearly finished. So we will be wrapping up. Going to catch up on the chat, and then we will wrap up the show. Troz, we can never replace him. He's worth his weight in gold. Yeah, you're not wrong. Everyone say hello to Mama as well. Matt saying, if Mama Flossie doesn't do any live watch-alongs, I'll unsub. Ooh. Vicious. Absolutely vicious. Frog, great statement. Yeah, we need soldiers as much as players. Yeah, too many cotton wool players these days. We need some midfield general in the middle of the park there. Someone to really kind of dig their heels in, bite the ankles of players, really get involved. And I agree on that. We need a nice balance. Actually, yeah. Mark was saying we're only getting freebies and cheap championship players. Man said you're better land on face crap. Face crap. Josh says a threat took you to number 1 there. Brilliant. Marcus says our marquee sign is the cat in the hat. Brutal, yeah. Matt says, don't you mean cheap shit championship players, Michael? Yeah, Matt the bully. There you go. There's the general. Get Matt in the middle of the park. That'll sort it all out. Yeah, we did indeed, mate. We folded like dominoes. There's no two ways about it. Harry's saying 12 points by October. Like that. Yeah, I can see this. If we get the tactics right, there's a possibility of that. That's the key issue for me, is what Potter can do with this team. As long as we can get it right, I think we'd be good. But 12 points by October. We'd love to have more, but let's see. Matt saying, how long will Brentford's new manager last, whoever it is? It's not going to have the same feeling, is it? He's got a kind of the fans have got to kind of gel with him as well. He's going to be able to do it. Frog says, "Oh, what? This October?" Matt says 2 points from our first 3 games. I think I've gone for 4 for the first 2. With the Sunderland, the Chelsea, etc. Michael saying, rumour has it Paqueta will be acquitted but could face a big fine, so Biofsky. Mate, they definitely want him out, don't they? Mr. Bell, good evening to yourself. Sorry, mate, I'm late, folks. Don't worry, mate. As always, lateness is greatness. So you excuse on this one, Steve. I'm sure you are. Steve saying 12 points, more like. Yeah, great. Well said, Frog. Yep, Steve, glad you made it, mate. Absolutely. You just said, Matt, you'll now be known as Nelson Muntz. Words and Picture says, I can't help it. I'm hopeful we'll do well and excited for the season to start. And I mean, that's the key thing. We've got to be optimistic. We've got to hope that he gets things right. The tactics, the formations, the substitutions, they've got to be the perfect, I won't say the perfect balance, but you've got to get it near damn perfect. He knows himself he can't do what he did last season. We can't live off what happened last season. That is the nightmare that we want to forget. That's something we want to write out of the history books. We want to forget about it completely so we can move on and move ourselves up the table and anything else than that. Is Europe an optimistic thing at this stage? I'm not too sure. I don't know if that's going to be the remit. I think for me, it's the case of if we do well and he can push that way, we'll take it. But I do believe Potter realises he's got to make amends for what happened last season, especially when he knows the fans were booing him off the park. Yeah, you don't want to be having that as a manager. Michael saying, question, can we win more than 4 home games this season? Well, if Emerson's the next one off as well, and he's looking at, we've got the likes of Mavropanos, we've got Kilman, Tadibo. Then we're looking at Skulls, maybe. It's, yeah. Will be interesting, Michael. Can we get 4 home wins? It's, yeah. I don't like to think it because all things are possible, but I do believe we've got, if he gets it right and we get the players we want, or they want, shall I say? God, I'm sounding as bad as them there. As long as we get the right players in and they can do a job for in the claret and blue, that's all you wait for. They do that, we can forgive, but we're not going to forget. That's for sure. And everyone's saying like each other as always. Frog saying, "Can we win 2 games on the bounce? 2 seasons on the bounce?" That's the big question because we saw that last season, didn't we, Frog? It looked optimistic. Potter's got it right for a change. He's looking good. Oh, no, we're looking all right there. And then we go 3 steps backwards. Not great. Not great at all. So, yes, the jury's going to be out, I think. The first couple of games, the jury will definitely be out. Message, you can acquit the guy, but still fine him. Man, they want to make a scapegoat of someone, Matt. Paquette is the target. He is the target. Matt's all saying the perfect blend is what we need, like a good cup of Tony. Absolutely, mate. Totally agree on that one. George says, hopefully we can get some good carpet for the track this season. See what colour they go for the next time. Matt says top 10 has to be a minimum this season after last season's BS. You're not wrong. I think that's going to be the target to finish, maybe the top 12. We can be in that area, then we've done better than last season. The main thing is we've got to see it on and off the pitch, not just the playing, and the squad and the team and getting results. We've also got to see it from the board level. That part has got to be correct as well. If Sullivan's looking to sell up, do it quick, Mr. Sullivan, and knock off out of it. Yeah, give us back our club so we can actually run it like a proper football club and that, and bring back West Ham how we knew it to be. Because at the moment we don't recognise it. It looks shocking. It looks dilapidated, and like the pitch behind me, where it says West Ham United, it needs a new lick of paint. Trosh says Real Madrid getting dominated by Al Hilal. Wow, man, that says it all. That says it all. And on that note, people, thank you for being with us. Yeah, short video, as I said, nearly an hour, but that's because, of course, I love to integrate with you people in the chat. You make it what it is, as always, and the bouncing off of each other with the comments and stuff like that, absolutely superb. As I said, if you haven't already, share, like, and subscribe. If you haven't already, let people know about it. Put the word out. We're not a bad bunch here. We do look after each other. We do make it. And even the Arsenal people. Pepsi, West Ham looks like Katie Price at the moment. Oh, man. Top heavy or deflated? Let us know, mate. That'd be interesting. Matt says, get the carpet from Carpet Right or the equivalent cheap carpet store. Yeah, tappy carpet's what they're called. Matt and Michael says, hopefully Sullivan is asset stripping to sell the club, get the dwarf out. There lies the problem. Absolutely, every cloud and silver liner, Michael. I think that's what he's doing. He did it at Birmingham. Yeah, him and Golden Sullivan. That's what they did before they sold up. He'll walk away with a tidy sum. It'll be the best thing we can ever have happen. Don't get me wrong. We got the Europa Conference out of it. We haven't got a stadium. We haven't got the right players. We ain't got the right owner. It needs to change. Mama's saying, an hour spent with good friends is always worth it. There you go. That is the statement of the night. Absolutely the statement of the night. You're not wrong there, Mama. Absolutely, I totally agree on that. Thanks, Ton. You're welcome, usual as always. Harry saying, great show. See you with the old fucks at 10 o'clock. Well done, matey. And Harry, thanks again for being with us. Anthony saying, Ton had an injury in work on Friday. Went to the hospital today. The pain was unbelievable. I'm on codeine. I'm on cloud 9. Oh, you went to injury. Anthony, what the hell, mate? Health and safety, man. It's unbelievable. Frog, Pepsi, Al Tits and Talk, you mean? Just a cap on the chat. Yeah. Matt says, well said, Mama. Proper football family. No egos, just friendships and banter. Great. AJ, thanks for coming in. We're now going to be wrapping up. AJ, appreciate you coming in, mate, and let us know that. 22 likes. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Hope you're keeping well, AJ. Good evening, Tony Bloke. Good evening to yourself, mate. Hope you and your family are doing well. Stephen saying, thanks for the chat, guys. Great company as always, and a good night to you to all. Absolutely. Exactly there. There's always a bloody jump. There you go. You're just saying, Anthony, wish you well, mate. Absolutely, Anthony. Hope it's not too serious. Cheers. And that Harry's saying you can extract the morphine from codeine and cold water. And on other shows. Trosh says this El Halal team cost a bit. I wonder what the wages are. You silly money. Absolutely silly money. Knowing some of the players. I think there's quoting. I'm trying to think the name of the player's name. When he was on for years, like 74 million. Absolute craziness. Matt says definitely Mama Flossie. If you get kudos, can we have Gordon or Barnes, please? Not Callum Wilson. Yeah, not Callum Wilson. As always, chat, you have been awesome. Totally agree on that, Mama. Troj, Mercenary FC, yes. Pepsi said he trashed the crash into the cowshed. Oh my day, mate. Anthony, look, tore me ligaments in my right ankle. Fucking hell. Well, what you should have done, mate, is take your wallet out and put it in the other pocket. You would have been all right. You're just saying budget tonight, people. Yes, he is on him and Kieran. So make sure you go and support those two gents. Sure, Matt, I'll get that sorted. Brilliant. Feel better soon, Anthony, mate, as well. Frog says, Anthony, look after yourself. Yes, definitely. And it's at 10 as always. Sounds good, Mama. Thank you very much. And on that, people, I'm going to bounce out. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Like I said, don't forget, hot one, do hydrate yourself. And make sure, as always, yes, not good as it Troj, that's for sure. Torn your ligaments. Poor bastard. Wouldn't wish it on your worst enemy, especially Anthony or RA. But thanks again, people. Look after yourself. And for the West Ham faithful, as always, come on, you Irons.